Hello again, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Buongiorno!
Day 3. We made it.
Did
The
it.
last day, the last episodes.
That's it. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Episode 7 and 8. If you guys are just tuning in for the first time, to my left here, I have Katie.
Oh,
Katie
That's
McCullough.
me.
She plays the very creatively named Katie in our web series. And then below we have Justine, who plays the even more creatively named Justine.
yay.
Why don't you guys tell us something about yourself, something weird?
Ooh,
Wait
something
one
weird.
second.
There's a lot of weird things about me. I think the biggest is that I deeply enjoy lip syncing by myself daily in front of the mirror. And this was before quarantine and COVID-19.
Me too. I do this day in and day out. Right now, I'm
Really?
skater. I am a Broadway star by myself in my bedroom.
Listen, you proved it in last night's episodes.
No. The way that I do it at home is like unlike anything anyone will ever see.
Can we get like a
Me
little
too.
give me like can I get a little emotion? No.
No. It's just for me.
Yeah.
John, what's
That's
something
for
weird
her
about
Patreon account.
what's something weird you do, John, alone?
I definitely talk to my cat quite a bit, but maybe that's not so weird.
Weirdo. We all have cats. Look at us.
My cat is a therapist, so it's not weird to me at all.
Oh, that's nice. That's convenient.
I remember when I was a kid, I had a really, really overly active imagination, and when I would be peeing on the toilet, I would think that there might be like a sniper trained on me, and so I would like sway back and forth. He's like, he's never gonna hit me if I sway.
I thought maybe this tied in with the cat.
No, not at all.
Speaking of cat,
Oh,
there she is.
Oh, there she is.
anyway, should we get into things?
Yeah, let's get into things.
Let's dive in.
So first up, we have a guest, right?
Where?
She's coming
What?
in.
Where could she be?
Yes.
So Katie, who do we have?
Today we have Glenda on
Plays creative names.
creative names. Give it to me, guys. Glenda. Yeah. She was one of the OG people on Fudge as well. She was in the Instagram videos, was
Yeah.
she?
Yep.
She was.
She
Two of them.
is the
Three.
infamous girlfriend and ex-girlfriend, the heartbreaker.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
So
she ripped
anybody-
it right out.
Oh, so anybody who's tuning in is going to recognize her from before. People who've seen season 1. She was also in the videos you guys did for the CSAs, the Canadian
Mhm.
Street Awards, because last year, year before? I don't know. These guys also
2
did
years ago, actually.
for the CSAs, and she was there. So she's like, I feel like she is deep in the, what's this word? What is this? Deep in the, woven into the quilt of Fudge. Eh? Love that.
Katie with the grandma metaphors.
Let me tell you, Justine has the grandpa ones, don't you?
Oh, I do. I do.
Okay, so we're gonna add in Glenda. We're gonna
All
say
right,
hi.
bring her in. Bring her
Ding the
in.
doorbell. That's my favorite part about Zoom is how people ding a doorbell. Oh my gosh, ding dong, she's here.
Hello.
You look
Hello.
beautiful.
You do. Look at you. You look
You look
tan.
very
okay.
fancy.
I did makeup, but I haven't brushed my hair in so long
Oh, that's
that I
fun.
have like these real like matted areas that I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cute.
How you
Oh,
doing?
is
I
cute.
like it.
It is cute. It's hard. It's quarantine days. I don't even remember how to get dressed properly.
I was like actually very excited to put let my hair dry.
Ooh.
Because I was like, ooh, today's like a day for me to do something.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
It's
So Glenda, we were just talking before you came out about how you're like an OG thread of the Fudge quilt. I was making some really good. But tell us a little bit about how you got roped
Is
in.
this live now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, you're on the air. I told you 15 seconds.
I know, but I wasn't sure if it was like look, I like legit like I'm like red,
No, it's good.
no stress.
Whatever it is, it's great.
Keep going.
I'm an OG thread.
Yeah.
Yes. So tell us, like, how did you meet John and Justine? How'd you get involved with Fudge? What was it like in the early days for you versus, coming on board once they were picked up by Gem?
So I've known John. Ooh, how long have we known each other? Probably like 8 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
at least.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Back when John was a part of a show called Random at Best that was like very much before its time in terms of like viral shows on YouTube. Anyway, we used to hang then, but John asked me one day if I wanted to come shoot this thing and then try to explain what Mind Fudge was in the early stages with Justine, and was like, it's this hyper realized inside her imagination, but it's 60 seconds, it's for Instagram, and you're gonna do all of these things. And I was like, I have no idea what you're saying, but yeah, like I'm down. Like, love John. Hadn't met Justine, but I was like, okay, cool. It was shooting down the street from where I live. And yeah, and then we went and I ripped her heart out day one, and then
That was the first time you guys met?
That was the first time we
Yes.
met.
That
yeah.
makes no sense to me because I was watching the bloopers a couple days ago, and you guys are so well connected. That's insane.
I know, it was funny. I was watching those bloopers. I was like, yeah, we didn't know each other. It's so we were pissing our pants laughing.
That's crazy. If you guys haven't seen the bloopers, highly recommend going to our Instagram page.
How much
They're
we
right
were
at the top
laughing.
there. They are super funny, and it's mind blowing that they didn't know each other. Wow.
but I was thinking about Justine. I was thinking about you and how you have like a wild ability to get along with people really quickly that you like first meet. Because I was like, it's nerve-wracking anyway, like walking into something and being like, and go. Also, there was a lot of improv and stuff, right? So like
Yeah.
it was scripted, but then we did like a lot of, which is hard to do like when you don't know somebody.
Yeah.
But Justine, you have like the wild ability to be like, and we're friends, let's go.
Aw, thank you. I felt the same way about you. It was so much fun. It was so funny. And then I felt like we were fast friends after that, for sure.
Oh yeah.
And so what's it been like being such a nice human being, so open and bubbly, but like pretty cold-hearted in the series? Like,
Oh, I was like, how's it like to be nice? That's what I thought he was asking.
not only do you rip her heart out, but you just like hardcore shut her down on the street when you guys meet up again. You're about to kick her ass in the next episode.
I like playing the bitch. Like I think that's like, you know how you have like those nice friends that always play like the evil person, like you know, and they're always nice in life. I don't want to say I'm always nice, but
You're
I
pretty
don't know.
nice.
I think playing the bad guy is like kind of fun.
I agree. It is fun.
You
I don't
know?
get to do that often, unfortunately, but I hope so soon. So.
Right, yeah, the vulnerable one that just gets like shit kicked around.
Always like, oh, woe is me.
So we're about to show episode 7, and then after that 8, which are 2 very, very heavy Glenda episodes.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think, or do you want to get into that after? Should we?
Yeah, let's show the episode and then we'll like dive into what it all. So they'll have
Yeah.
reference points.
Yeah.
And everybody who's joining us in the chat over there, while you're watching the episode, think about any questions you have for Glenda, because we only have her after episode 7. That's right? I'm not making that up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your big chance. Any questions you have, especially fans of the show who are chatting with us, who are fans of season 1, if you have any questions, put them in there and we will ask her after this episode. Anything that comes up.
Moderator.
It is a crazy episode. I love this
Oh,
one.
and Katie, you know what'd be really fun? So this is the episode with that little record sleeve tidbit.
Yes, that Nicolette dropped a hint yesterday.
Yeah. We should tell people. So everyone, if you pay attention to the beginning of episode 7, pay attention to the record sleeves and let us know if you notice anything.
I don't. It's very
Dun,
hard.
dun.
It's
Like I was on set and I was like, what?
it's very obscure, but whatever.
You had a
We'll
lot
tell
to
you.
do with Justine,
Can't figure it out.
so-
We will tell you.
Yeah. So
Alright.
the episode you're about to see is called $1 Million Crybaby. It's our epic boxing episode. We had a lot of fun shooting it and writing it. It's one of the most sort of well put together episodes in my opinion. It has a really good start, finish, and end. It's really tight. It really looks visually pleasing, and I think the performances were just off the charts. So really excited for you guys to see it.
Sick.
Shall we get right into it?
Let's get
Yeah.
into it.
Okay.
jump.
Here.
I think this one's my best yet. You like it? Do you like him? You turned on? You want it? We'll buy this one. Let's put it on the fridge, on the mantelpiece.
Oh no, here it is.
Hey, there we go. That's what we're talking about. Cool stuff.
Maybe we should go soon because I think this meat is gonna thaw.
Hey, maybe we should go.
Yeah? Justine,
Justine?
Hey, how's it going?
Didn't know you still came here.
Yeah. Well, I love, my love for music records. Picking up the new Juno Cento record. Glenda, Zoe. Nope. No, the other way around.
Nice to meet you, Glenda.
Hi.
This is my girlfriend, Jen.
All right. It's okay. Rough start. We got this.
She's killing me out there.
Yeah, she's really good. She's really strong. She's tall. She's very sexy. She's very good at boxing. But keep your feet under you. You got this. Yeah, you got this.
So you're dating again?
Yeah, Jen's really great. I think she might be the one, Jay.
Yeah, well, Zoe collects DVDs.
Cool.
Yeah, well, she also gave me the key to her place.
So I guess you got over your commitment issues, huh? Also, we just got back from Europe.
What?
If you could pick one place in Europe to go, though, what would it be?
To go to France?
We can go to France.
One day.
We just adopted a puppy. It's a Maltese Shih Tzu mix.
More of a rat, but
Both for promotions. We're thinking about buying a house.
Oh, yeah? Well, Zoe actually goes down on me.
Fuck the ladies! Fuck!
What's something you love about me?
Your hands. And something you love about me.
You. I love you.
One, two, three, 4, 5.
That was weird.
Are you gonna help or what?
Yeah. Sorry.
Mind of a king, soul of a lion. I know brothers who are hopeless from iron. Figures a chief and a rose and try him. Crease close, he's still holding an iron. I want a belly way too big for a belt, even if I got hold of Orion's. That's why I got a set pace every morning. I wake, no hope for a lion. Not where I should be at the moment, but I understand that I'm blessed.
up her dab.
And we're back.
We're back. Oh, it's a new move.
Back.
I love seeing that episode. It makes me so happy.
That episode is so crazy intense. Like the physicality is insane. Glenda, did you have a boxing background? I mean, I know Justine is very physical, but I don't know much about you.
No, I have a figure skating background, so a little bit less. Well, the coordination part helped though, because we had to learn so much choreo that we had to do for that scene right before we shot everything the same day. And so that was really hard, but my brain kind of like my old figure skater brain kicked in and was just like, remember that these are the steps that you have to do in this order. And so that kind of helped.
And that's why you threw in that triple axel. Just kidding.
It's in the
it was cut, but it was there.
She did a couple.
Get it? Oh. But talk me through, so when you guys were learning an hour before, who were you working with, Justine and Glenda? Like, what did that look like?
We had a stunt coordinator that day too. Wayne?
Yeah, his name is Wayne Wells. He's a very, very established and experienced stunt coordinator, and just what he was able to teach you guys in a matter of hours was mind-blowing.
My favorite part about Wayne was that he was like a coach. Like he would like in between takes, he would like talk to us like we were boxers. And I felt the whole time. Like I think because we shot that for like hours and hours and hours, and he'd be like, he'd grab us and like literally talk to us on the side, like, and I would actually feel like right, yeah. And then I the whole time felt like I was a boxer to keep me in the headspace, which was great. I think I must be used to doing that.
I was sore for, no kidding, like at least a week.
I was
after it was because people like boxing is hard enough as it is, but then there was something about the fact of like getting like an inch from Justine's nose and then having to stop in mid, like that whole thing, that was really hard and tired you out. Not to say that we did not accidentally hit each other a few times, never really in the face, but some real good gut punches.
I definitely got some good gut punches in there, because someone was like, oh! I was like, yeah, that was hold on, let me catch my breath.
And I remember when
did
you
you get
in,
that?
Justine, I remember when you walked in on set, you're like, so might have kinked my neck.
Oh yeah, no, that was bad. I had the neck kink. Well, the day before was the worst day for the neck kink, where I was like a zombie. I couldn't move, but I had to like throw myself back, and I can notice it in this episode. But when my head hits the mat, it's stiff, and it frustrates me. I was like, but normally I would have like let it fling.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was still managed to loosen it up in the, like, it was by the end of the day it started to really hurt again, because I was getting real carried away with throwing myself on the mat.
Well, and someone was asking here if you did all your own stunts, and you did in our fight sequence that we saw yesterday and in this boxing match. That's true, right, Justine? You were doing all your own stunts.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Like every time, even it wasn't my coverage, I kept throwing myself to the ground. I remember a couple of times John being like, Justine, you don't have to do that every time.
Like, but I do.
I was like, I know, but it's so much fun. Because the floor was like bouncy.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't actually hurt. But
I remember on the day too, I felt like a bit of a coach myself. Because in the morning when you said your neck had kinked, I'm like, okay, to take this ball, you're going to lie down, you're going to stretch it out.
That's what a good director should be, a good coach.
When we did the smelling salts scene, I actually did that to like find out what it's like. And I don't think you ever did it, right? Or did
I did too. We used it.
Real, right?
Yeah, I did. I was terrified, it took me, I made you and Nicolette do it. Even though Nicolette didn't need to, but I was like, can you just, like, I was scared for some reason. I didn't know what it was going to be like. But Nicolette used to actually box, which is hilarious. She's the only one that's not boxing in the episode. She has like a boxing background. So she was like, it's not bad. Like and I was like, okay, well then do it. If it's not so bad.
Dare you?
And then she did.
Oh my gosh, amazing. I have a question in the comments for Justine and Glenda about, did you guys improvise any of the jabs that you said during the match? So any of the action, and how many takes did you laugh at when, what was said during the punches?
I think they were scripted.
They were definitely, we didn't improv really because we had so much choreo to know. So like every punch had a line with it.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of stuff going on, I think, like in the brain, where it was like, we knew what each jab physically and literally went along with each other. So there wasn't too much room, I think, maybe for us to improv there, if I remember.
The improv was like the dream sequences. There was like
Yes.
we were loosely written, and we kind of like went off on those.
When we were beating each other up, we have the room.
I love that. That's such a testament to your guys' performance, and then also like John directing and the editing later, because it feels so alive and so fresh that I love that people are like, were you joking? Were you improvising? Did you guys have any moments though when you corpsed during the fight, or was it so intense that you were like really just
we were a hoot. John was getting frustrated at us sometimes, I think. Because we were just having too much fun.
150% like with every single take, and just like sometimes it'd be really funny because either you're going to miss a punch or you're going to hit someone and they're going to make a funny noise. Like there was a lot of things that
there was a lot of room for
you know.
But look how it turned out.
That's amazing. And just clarifying for some people in the chat, first someone asked, how bad are the smelling salts? Because you were mentioning them, like, did they smell bad?
No, it's more like, I don't even know how to explain it. They didn't smell bad. It just kind of like gives you a rush.
It just
wakes
very
you up.
pungent.
Yeah.
I think it's a mix of like ammonia and like hydrochlorine or something. It just like gives you like a rush of energy for like a few minutes, wakes you up.
Whoa. And then also, so you guys did learn the choreo on the day of shooting. Someone wanted clarification in our chat. Yeah. So like you show up to set and you're just like, what are we gonna do? I mean, of course, as you said, it was written with certain jabs and lines, but then in terms of like you flying through the air and like landing on the ground, that was all day up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We knew I had to like fly back, and that was part of it, but yeah, we didn't. The choreography was.
I remember we shot until I think it was like 2:30 or 3 in the morning, and you and I were just sitting on the rings at like when we were done, and I was just like, "It's my birthday." Like, what?
Oh my god! And I think I have photos of us sitting on the rings, and then there's a photo of us like bursting out laughing. I wonder if it's literally that moment. That's so funny. I'll send you those pictures later. What I'm talking about. Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's so amazing.
My birthday.
And I mean, it's also a crazy thing when you're when you're casting a show like this that you know we have like limited time. It's such a testament, John, Justine, and your casting team of casting the right actors in roles that you know they can step in and not only deliver a great acting performance, but the physicality and also really understand the tone of the whole show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So cool. So Glenda, before we dive into our next episode, something specific for you, and then John or Justine can also chime in. Someone had asked, what fudges your mind?
Currently, America. What's going on, guys?
Oh God.
What's going on? Anybody else have something to add in that might fudge their mind?
I would say quantum physics. It's like real life magic. It makes me happy, and it's hard to understand in the best way possible.
I would say.
I think I might be getting a quantum physics tattoo soon to reveal my truth.
What would that look like?
I'll tell you later.
It's
it's too hard to explain.
Like it's symbolic.
Yeah.
Justine, is there anything that fudges your mind?
Yeah, it's probably is equally as complex as John's answer. Girls.
I mean, anybody in the chat, anybody else, totally. People, let us know what fudges your mind, please, in the chat, because I think that's an amazing question. I would say the only thing that really fudges my mind is like when when you have like a really amazing bite of food and you're like, how?
How? How did that happen?
How? I feel that.
Short circuit.
And before we lose Glenda, we did have Glenda. Glenda also was calling you Glennis the other day. I decided to combine your first name and last name.
Glennis once.
So I was like, calling you Glennis.
You're not the first one. My friends call me Glennis when I start dancing when I'm drunk.
Wow.
She goes like this.
A little flavor? Man, if only you could have been in the club scene.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing that. But someone in the chat wanted to know, how many days did it take to shoot the episode that we just watched, the crazy boxing?
It was like a day and a half.
Yeah, because we had to shoot this other sequence stuff. Yeah.
Or maybe like 2 days total, because we did the record store and all the flashbacks.
It was 2 days. The Mind Fudge crew moves real quick.
Yeah.
Quick and efficient.
Right. What did we do?
Definitely great vision. John or Justine, is there anything else you want to ask Glenda before we lose her and go into our next episode? Or anything you want to add in?
Well, I'd love to hear, one, what your favorite episode was, and two, if there are any episodes that turned out much differently than you had read them in the script. Because I know episode 8 is a real mind bender, but we're about to get into that. But
Okay, I won't say anything about episode 8.
Yeah.
Okay, aside from my own episode, which I do love, not because of me, but because I think it turned out awesome. The musical episode. As Justine knows, I'm a huge musical fan. And when I heard they were doing a musical episode, I lost my mind. I heard the music beforehand, and the way that it turned out, I thought was phenomenal. I thought that the song was awesome. I thought what you guys were able to shoot within an elevator was, I'm sure, super stressful. But I loved it because that is my jam.
Yeah.
So good.
Was there a B part to that question? Did I
don't
finish
remember.
the question?
No, that's good.
No, that was it. We all decided to just give you an awkward pause at the end.
But before you go, like, where can people check out your stuff? Like, what are you working on? Can they see you elsewhere?
Currently working on nothing.
That glass of wine.
Yeah.
And they're working on this glass of Chardonnay. But other than that, just my Instagram. My name, Glenda McGinnis.
Cool. We'll pop that in the notes after.
Glenda McGinnis, not to be confused with Glynis.
The Glynis.
What? Glynis McGinnis?
And I have to say, Glenda, while I have you here, that we never got to work together on set, but I am such a huge fan of you in this episode and all of the work that you do. And I think you and Justine, I think the relationship of bringing in the ex-girlfriend to the show was such an amazing element to not only challenge Justine's character and the Justine-Zoe relationship, but I love that it gave an amazing throwback to season 1. And for any fans of season 1, people who are new to it, it's so cool to watch your evolution from season 1 and then in this. And I just think that is so, so special and something that Mind Fudge does so cool. And Australia.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Katie. All right.
You're welcome. All right,
So
John, do you want to set us up for
episode 8?
episode? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Glenda, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh,
thanks for
hope to see your
having
face
me.
soon.
Yes.
Hope to see anyone's face.
Hope to smell anybody soon.
Oh, I
That's
miss
right.
smelling people.
Yeah. Good, bad, ugly, anything.
Anything
Do I
bad,
just
ugly
hit
smell.
leave? Is that what I do?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, you can.
You have to see yourself out.
What if I just stay?
Don't make me kick you out.
What if I just stay, guys?
That was amazing.
That was amazing. Oh, she's the best.
Yeah.
Okay. So we made it to the final episode.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Initially we were gonna do 10 episodes, I think, but then that just got out of control. That's just not possible.
These are pretty ambitious, guys. This is ambitious 8.
Yeah.
It would have been possible.
And I'm not gonna lie, we did write this episode literally while shooting this season.
Well,
but you had a concept for it. It was
we were just wrapping it up and finishing it, but we had to do that on our off days. We still had like parts of the script undone.
Yeah, but I think that's actually a great thing that happened because we were able to really look at what we had shot so far.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
We sort of like wrapped up all the episodes in one. There's a lot of callbacks. I think we really utilized what we had in our time, and it really does give a bit of a payoff if you could pay attention from episodes 1 to 7, which I think is really cool. And it sort of hits you out of left field. It's very surprising.
Yeah, and I think there's so much comedy in this whole series and also so many big moments of heart. And this particular episode, everyone's about to watch, like, it really got me. Even though I knew what you guys had shot and from reading on the page, it really hit me on a bunch of levels that were really special. I don't want to spoil it, but everybody should get real excited. And when we get back, we will answer you guys' questions too about how many people were on the crew and how did the heart feel in your hand. So Justine and John, get ready to answer those. But we don't want to keep you waiting any longer. And we also have another special guest coming in, don't we, after?
We do.
Episode 8.
And just before I forget, just to go back to those record sleeves for a quick second.
Oh,
right.
So if anybody does want to go back on the stream later and check it out, each record that Justine and Zoe hold up is an anagram of some of the cast and crew.
That's so cool.
So yeah, it's something that's so specific that I don't think you'd ever really catch, because like you wouldn't know the cast and crew's name. But we have Justine, Nicolette, myself, and our EP Peter Woods all mixed up in there. So like Peter Woods is anagrammed into Dope Towers.
Cool.
Yeah, and so John Simo is you know what? I don't really remember, but I'm in there. I'm the sad grandpa.
Oh, but I love that. And also after we stream episode 8, we're going to be showing the credits. So make sure you stick around after the credits. And I think it's so important everybody watches them and sees the amazing crew. And we'll also answer your question of how many people were on it, and give people a chance and us a chance to give a huge shout out to such an amazing team. I didn't know that those were also a shout out to them. And that's amazing. I love that's what makes shows so special and
little hidden gems.
You know?
Yeah. So please stick around for the credits for this episode. We really want to tip our hats to the entire crew that helped us make this happen, because there's a lot of them. And I saw a question earlier about how many people were on the crew, and why don't I just let the credits answer that instead of telling you a random number. So without further ado, let's get into...
Are we also announcing our guest who's coming on later?
Yes.
No?
Sure. Yeah, if you guys want to announce it.
So if you guys stick around, we'll be joined by the comedian, writer extraordinaire, Robbie Hoffman.
Yay!
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So stick around. You guys ready? Episode 8?
Yeah, episode 8. This episode is entitled Eternal Fudge of the Spotless Mind.
Oh, such a good time.
It's my favorite one.
Yeah,
it's my
which
favorite
is,
title.
if you've seen the movie, you get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Enjoy, guys.
I'm so happy I get to wake up beside you. So, are we going to talk about yesterday? Zoe. You're up early?
I couldn't sleep, really. I have that job interview today at the camera store.
Oh, yeah. Good. Okay, well, I'm gonna be late tonight, so don't wait up. Okay.
You're up late. Yeah, couldn't sleep well.
That sucks.
How was it?
It was good. I love that place. How's your stomach?
Oh, yeah, it's fine. Do this one. That one's too good. Love it. Oh my god. All right,
You're
what
an
else?
idiot.
What else? What else? All right, let's find another one.
Yeah, it does. Exactly like you.
I love this game.
Oh, we already have that one.
We do.
just don't think I can do this anymore. I just can't do this anymore. We've been together for so long. And nothing's changed, Justine. We're not growing.
I can't believe you're doing this. It's all moving so fast. Okay, and I need a minute to think.
What do you need to think about? Why did you move in with me?
I just don't know what I want right now.
I just don't know what I want anymore.
Well, I know what I want. I want you. Hey, are you okay? Wait!
Feels like I'm lost inside a maze. Been trapped and now I can't escape. It's like I'm floating up in outer space, but came crashing down inside these waves. I try and keep my head above the water. I hold my breath until you feel the same. Sometimes I wonder, would it be right? What would it be like? But you pull me under. I'm reaching up, but I can't get out.
We're back.
We're back.
Who's crying?
I'm crying. Justine, your sweet little face looking so sad, and Glenda and Nicolette's. I'm like, you guys, incredible performances from all of you in that episode. It's so great.
Thank you.
Oh, and like also incredible performances. And some people are asking, and John, I'll throw it to you with some direction of this. Some people are like, I understand because I saw on your Instagram, John, how you did some of those effects, but can you talk about the process, how you came up with that idea, and how you made those big swipes happen? I'm not using the right terms.
No, those are the right terms. That is it. The big swipe.
Is that it?
Yes. Swipe.
Well, the way that I was thinking about this episode when we were writing it was that when you are going through a breakup, it's sort of like everything's a bit disjointed. It's like your hippocampus, which is recording memories, is sort of all out of whack, right?
Your hippopotamus is doing what?
And so I just thought it'd be so interesting to simultaneously showcase two breakups happening where there is no tether of time to really latch on to. You don't know what's happening when, and you're really seeing how somebody's patterns really do repeat unless you really take effort to break them yourself. Like you can see patterns, what Justine was doing to Nicolette, Glenda had done to Justine, right? And so it's just sort of like this ever continuing cycle. And I thought using a lot of these camera tricks and techniques to go from scene to scene would really keep the viewer not confused, but they would feel just as disoriented as Justine would be feeling while being broken up with or breaking up with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like the main camera trick that we used is the I call it pendulum cam, which is the
pendulum cam. It's called that. You made that up? I've called it the pendulum cam, like the pendulum thing. Is that not really what it's called?
I mean, I don't
It
know.
is now.
It hasn't really been done that often.
Oh, I was like, yeah, the pendulum thing.
The pendulum, the grandfather clock pendulum.
Oh man.
And so how we did that is I put the camera on a little monopod on a little bit of like a pivot head, and then I would be standing behind it with this like custom built rig, and I would push it up myself, and then I would use gravity to slowly lower it down. But I had sponges on each side of the camera so that the camera could hit the ground properly without smashing into bits.
Very important part of working with expensive things.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Then Justine, what was it like for you acting in that episode? Because there's a lot, the most kind of, I think, breaking apart any facade or any of, her imagination, and we're really seeing like the hardest parts of her reality. How did you dig into that as an actor for this episode?
Yeah, I would say this one was the episode I was the most scared to shoot. Because I had to tap into, there's like a lot of comedy and light moments and a lot of fun and activity and that sort of thing. It comes very naturally and easy, whereas emotions is just, it's a whole other thing. And like these type of emotions, but it's such an exhilarating feeling once you do it and when you get to the space to do it. I was really lucky that it was a smaller crew on some of the days where I had to be emotional like that, and it was really it was just, I don't know, I felt really good about it, and John and I had a good flow that day and let me go and do my thing, and I could really focus on being an actor that day, whereas it was hard on some days to just kind of balance a lot of things, but on these days I got to really focus on the performance side of things, which helped a lot.
And I think that's the edit that we collaborated the most on, probably, because you were so sure about your performance at the end that I wanted to make sure that it aligned with how you wanted the character to react to the characters around her. And so I think we sat the most around that scene with you on the couch and the scene in the bedroom, really, really refined it.
Yeah.
And I'm really thankful you cared so much.
Oh, I love that
I
stuff.
think we did like get the best performances possible out of that episode.
Yeah, I think you really get to see like what Mind Fudge is, which is both of your brains fudging together. So I think it's apparent in every episode, but just what you just said, John, I'm like, oh yeah, I think as an actor on set witnessing you guys, that ability to like ebb and flow, and even you were both wearing so many hats at so many different moments, but you both cared so deeply about having the most effective final product. And I think it's evident in every episode. And I think it's so cool how you took so much care, especially with like these bigger emotional things. Because sometimes, especially for when you're running out of time, and as you guys mentioned, you're trying to create and shoot all at the same time. But I didn't feel like anything was missed, and it just enhanced this entire episode. So frickin' heck, congrats. Rewatching now, it's like, oh, with the perspective, I'm sure you guys feel that too.
Yeah.
We do have some questions in the chat over here.
Yeah.
But should we bring in our guest?
Why don't we just like wrap up the episode 8 questions? And
let's do a real quick. Right. There's some that I'll save, but well, first of all, funny joke. Y'all feel like Justine couldn't find a stable relationship because of the tacky disco ball above her bed?
You're a tacky disco ball above my, oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Hey, that was Nicolette's room. I'm not Nicolette, Zoe's room.
Yeah. That was Zoe. There we go. Everything answered. So someone first asked, what was the ending song? It was really good. What's that artist's name?
Yeah, so that's actually someone that I know. We're Instagram friends. He goes by Memorex, and he's a local Toronto guy, a local Toronto electronic producer. So the end track is called Deep End by Memorex, and it's a fantastic track. If you like sort of more down-tempo, really well thought-out electronic music, definitely check him out. That's MEMORECKS. A really, really cool guy.
So awesome.
And it's also on our title sequence playlist on SoundCloud, so we'll put that in the links as well.
Yeah, link it. Oh, John, you're so good at linking everything. Question for actors on set. Do you personally, as actors, watch playback on set, or do you prefer not to? Justine, how you feel about that?
On Mind Fudge, I will be honest. I like to watch playbacks. I don't know. I think it will vary from project to project, and it probably varied from episode and what time we had, but I think I did get to see a lot of playback with John because we were collaborating and talking throughout a lot of the things. And I don't know, sometimes I do like it. I know that some people feel the opposite. But even if it's just to kind of see what the frame is, it helps me a lot. yeah, so I like it. And I think on this project, I got to do it. I had a little bit more of a luxury though.
I think it's interesting because it's funny because I didn't feel the need to watch any playback because I trusted you guys so much and John behind the camera and you as a scene partner. But I do agree with you. It is very project specific because I would still watch some, especially on that day we did the fight stuff where we're like, this is so rad. So I do think like not making any hard and fast rules as an actor is important so that you can always like let every project affect you or change.
Yeah, it varies. I also I shot something a few months ago and I didn't see any playbacks, and I actually liked that. At first, I was like a little uncomfortable because I have this urge to be like, "Does it look okay?"
Yeah.
But once you let that go after a couple of takes, it's kind of freeing, and then you see it and you go, "Oh man, that's wild." But I do if I can. But I like it in this capacity because just seeing like tiny bits here and there sometimes can throw you off. But because I got to have such a heavier hand in it.
And you're also arcing a full season. I feel like that's such a different experience than somebody who's just coming in for a few episodes.
Right.
Like John mentioned, you had to make sure that what you wanted at the end matched everything that was happening throughout. And then a question for you creators, what place do you think the character Justine is in with the whole breakup? I couldn't be sure whether she's sure of it or just kind of lost. And someone also asked about the future of Justine. And I love all this ambiguity because I think that's like speaks to her character and what you guys might be thinking about. Share more about what you see for the future of Mind Fudge.
Well, we did this on purpose, right? We left it very open-ended because 8 episodes is really not a lot of time to properly tell an arc of relationship and like proper development. So while we did see Justine grow in terms of maybe deciding what she might want, we didn't want to dive too deep into any sort of finite definitions of her character, because in the next season we really want to just explode it up to the nth degree, and we don't necessarily want to maybe focus on relationships as the primary directive for the next season. They're always going to be a part of her character because they are so important in our lives. Relationships is what sort of keeps us human. But we have so many ideas for the character of Justine. We really want to dive into her mind and why she makes these hyperreals happen. And we're super, super excited about what's to come. But we purposely sort of left it like that, right?
Yeah, and like hopefully in the future things will be answered and things will, but yeah, it was purposeful to kind of like fill it in for yourself and what you think, because like not everything is so finite ever really, and it would be too soon for it to be, and too simple for it to be just one thing.
Yeah, keeps us as audience members on our toes too. Some people are writing me like, I heard next season and will Justine ever find a happy ending? Well, people, you're gonna have to keep watching Mind Fudge and keep following them on all the Instagrams, the YouTubes. If you're in Canada, watch on CBC Gem. Keep following and stay in touch with these guys because yeah, you heard exactly what you just heard. Next season, Justine's life, all different things, diving in. It's so exciting, and I think it's such a cool concept that you guys. I just can see endless possibilities, and especially how this season turned out. I can't even imagine. I just can't because I know it'll be so crazy amazing.
And just to give you guys like a quick taste of what it was like to shoot this episode. So imagine we're shooting episode 3 at the club, right? And so we're pretty much shooting the whole episode there. And then at a certain point, when the character is in the right outfit, we have to completely change gears and start filming a portion of episode 8, which is so hard to sort of like compute in your mind, right? So like, for example, when we were filming all of episode 3, and then at one point we had to film you watching yourself in episode 3 for episode 8.
Yeah.
And you have to do like a wardrobe change, and you have to not be yourself really. And then when you're in the record store, you're yourself again, but you're watching yourself, and then Glenda's there. Like it almost gives me a nosebleed.
It is a Mind Fudge.
Yeah.
And where did you guys come up with the name Mind Fudge? Someone had asked earlier in the chat.
So I remember when we had started making this, we didn't have the name for a little bit because
it's called Justine's Imagination.
The folder on my hard drive is still called Justine's Imagination.
Oh, I love that.
Because I'm too afraid of changing the name because it'll like unlink all the files.
Yeah, just leave it.
But I don't remember exactly where the name came from because a lot of my ideas I don't really think of. They just enter the old noggin for some reason. Maybe because I was dropped on my head as a child. That might be it. But
Maybe.
I remember I was walking down the stairs to my studio, and right before I took one more step, it just like mind fudge, just stuck in my mind like a little needle. And I kept saying it over and over and over again, like, that's really catchy. Mind fudge, mind fudge.
And I remember we were in the process of like, we're going to like bring each other like lists of names. And then you were like, okay, so first one, throwing it out there, mind fudge. And I was like, oh yeah, let's just do that.
That's perfect.
But we tested it out with a mutual friend, and we both told that like friend separately, and they were like, nah, I don't like it. And we were like, no, I think we're gonna do it. We were like, let's just ask people and see how it lands, and people weren't. Now look, now it's fully the name.
Yeah. And then even for making the logo, I was looking up random fonts, and I just kept hitting refresh, and I found this one font. The font name is called Whoop Ass.
Whoop Ass.
And I just thought that was funny, and so like we used Whoop Ass for our font, and I just like made a little custom thing, and ever since it's been the Mind Fudge insignia.
Whoop Ass.
I love it. It's so good. I love hearing all these things. Should we bring on our next guest, or is there anything that else you want to add about this final episode, and then introduce our next person coming in?
Right. Well, we said it before episode 8 that we are bringing in writer, comedy extraordinaire, Robbie Hoffman. Where is she?
Is she gonna come in?
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Well, I mean, first of all, Robbie, I have to just admit, if she's watching, like, I'm really nervous because I'm a huge fan, and I actually met Robbie Hoffman, and this is my first time, and everyone's watching it on Zoom.
Thrilling. All right.
Yeah, Robbie was a real treat to work with, but we'll get into all that. So let's just let her in. Let's do the whole
ding dong in the room.
thing. Okay, let's ding dong her in.
Ding dong her in. Ding dong her in. Has she been ding donged in? Ding her in. Ding her in.
Okay.
Get it together. How do you?
She's just like.
She just left.
Oh, hold on.
Wow.
Can you text her again, Justine?
She ding donged in.
There she is.
Hello.
We can't hear you.
Robbie, you there?
Hello? Oh, she's connecting the audio.
Am I connecting the audio?
Hello, Robbie. Can you turn your phone landscape?
Is that better? Oh, let me do it like this.
Hold on, guys.
Yes,
wait,
that's perfect.
Hi.
There we go.
Hello, it's so good to see your face.
I have 20% battery because you guys have left me on freaking in this waiting room. I don't even know what's going on. I actually don't know where to look. Here. How can I not?
That's pretty good. I like your background. I feel like you've put thought into this. It looks great.
No, none. Zero thought. What's happening?
Robbie, where in the world are you right now?
I'm in LA.
Is it hot?
Yeah, it's hot.
Cool.
I mean, it's LA. It's nice. It's gorgeous.
Ugh.
I'm in a very, very cushy spot in LA. I'm very blessed. How are all of you?
It snowed in Toronto yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, it does that in Toronto.
Not
It would be weird. It would be weird. Yes, April. People have short-term memory about the snow. Every year, I remember my mother when I was in Toronto, when I was in Canada. Every year, my mother would be like, "It is record cold. Close to record cold." I was like, "No, we are in Montreal. It is not record cold, okay? And it's just cold. It would be weird if it snowed here. That would be something to talk about."
Yeah.
So, Robbie, can we get a little intro to who you are to the people that might not know?
Yeah. You know, I'm just a queer Jew. You know, trying to survive the Corona cost. I mean, I don't know how else. I mean, we can't legally say what I did on the show because, but I was very helpful for Mind Fudge. I think it came out great. And I'm like the blind third. Like I shouldn't even be on this, really, but here I am.
Here you are.
How did you feel, Robbie, from like knowing the show before it went to camera, feel like that's broad enough. And then seeing the episodes, like how it all turned out. Was there any episode in particular that you were like blew your mind or you loved or surprised you?
I mean, there's I have a penchant taste for the Holocaust. I definitely liked what I consider the Holocaust inspired episode. Which is when she's late for work, or late for she's has to get there on time. And then we slowly break out into war, but not just any war. You'll notice all the costuming. I think I credit John with all this. I don't know why he said one here, but all the costuming was out of 1939 Germany. So it is for some triggering. For some triggering, and for others maybe a bit of my heritage moment. In Canada they have the Canadian heritage moments.
Yeah.
For me, of all the episodes, that was the Robbie Hoffman heritage moment. So I really appreciated it.
Oh man, that's so funny. I didn't realize. Is that what the costumes were?
Well, they were World War I Canadian costumes.
Yeah, you'll notice that
World War II.
They're not recent. They're World War II.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't think I know an SS officer when I see one? Believe me. No, and that's how we thought of the episode too, going in. So I think it matched everything. I mean, watching them, I typically, as predominantly a writer, I really don't. I am so removed from when things shoot. There's so many shows I've written on, and I've met an actor from after, like on Working Moms in Canada. I met an actor from Working Moms, and I wrote on season 2 of that show. And she, I didn't know her, but you know what I mean. But it's not like I wrote and then I'm finished and I work on the next show, or I work on other shows stuff that I'm working on, and I really don't see. I'm just not a part of that process. This was a little faster because it was short. I was able, it's not like, I saw it 2 years later. Like sometimes I'm just so far removed from what I've written that it's nice to catch something, but I also am already onto something else. This feels like a party a little bit too. This is like something that's like more of a vibe. It's not just a show, it's also a vibe. And because it wasn't, full television where it comes out so much later, I was able to really remember what I wrote, or remember what we did, and see it translate. And obviously it's 10 times better to see something in life. And it's great to see lines or things that make things, and they're, they have life to them now. It's kind of like this limp dick that gets hard. You see, what I mean? It's like, limp dick does something, I'm sure, for some people, never for me, but for some people. And then when you see it, it's erect. It's nice. I mean, even as a lesbian, I'm not going to deny, it looks better than it did before. Maybe not the greatest analogy, but it's alive. It's alive, it's strong, it's breathing, there's a pulse. It's great.
It's a good analogy. I love it.
Yeah, on the pages, things look like on the pages. There's just the white pages. There's nothing really to write home about. Mm-hmm. No pun intended.
Was there an episode that you think sort of turned out the way that we were discussed, when we were sort of working on them, or we can say that, right?
Yeah.
I'm not good at, you guys are big. When I've been coming in and out, everybody's big on rating these episodes and what's better and what's worse, and I'm not rating any of them. I enjoy all of them for different things. You know what I mean? It's like, which episode do you love that this came out? But they're all fantastic. Truly, they're all different stories. I thought we did a great job of they're distinct episodes. They really are. I mean, from musical to the episode we just wrote, the last one, which was, I think, the most philosophical of the episodes, the most emotionally driven episode. I think they all, to compare them is strange to me. I like the entire series. I mean, for different reasons, different episodes do different things.
Imagine you're
yeah, I mean,
I fell flat.
Yeah, I don't have I'm not good at interviews. Look at this. I've been aggressive. I come on aggressive.
Well, I have a very serious question for you.
Go ahead.
That some people ask, that some people answer, but I really want to know, inside the mind of Robbie Hoffman, what fudges your mind?
Well,
what fudges my mind. I mean, people make me, you know, constantly, what fudges my mind? Just small things that people do. It's never like big things. I find behaviors.
So
what?
Justine said,
I'll tell you. Girls? Oh, do girls?
Remind me.
I'm actually, a lot of people don't know this, but I actually do okay with girls. I'm actually fine with girls. Maybe boys not, but with girls, this I understand this landscape. I mean, I don't always understand, and I'm in trouble a lot, but I am comfortable being in trouble, and I'm also comfortable in the space. I would say like small things, like I live in I live in a good spot. There's 2 other tenants, like a house broken up. And for instance, I'll tell you what fudges my mind. You ever see those big garbages, you know, the big ones? Like it's like the ones you have to put on the street. There's like a recycling one, there's a garbage one, there's, you know, like the big ones that are on wheels, you know, they're for like the entire complex normally. You know what I mean? I never knew, for instance, how they moved from the sidewalk to the back of like, I've never been involved with the garbage. Like I'll put my garbage from my house in the thing. And that's the, you know, and I've never seen it happen. I've also like never been, I'm like, oh, I suppose this is the kind of thing that like it gets from the back of the house, it goes to the front of the house. Like that happens like in the dead of the night because I've never personally witnessed it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like one of those things that I'm like, oh, this must be like a night job, like where these guys come in, you know, and then so I move into this place and the other time I have a separate office. So I have a little apartment and then the garage has been converted into an office for me. So I work out of, I didn't think I'd be working so much out of there, but in the Corona cost, that's where I live. So I'm in that space now, you know, and I keep seeing one of my neighbors is like passively aggressive, like moving the big garbage, like in the back. She's like making a lot of noise. And I'm going like, some of us are trying to, like, what's happening here? And then I'm like, oh, why are you doing the garbages? I thought somebody comes to do the garbages. Now, forget, it's not to sound elitist. Even when I was on welfare, dirt poor in our building, we never did the garbages. Somebody from the building did it.
So are you going to now
in any event, so I offered to help her and she said, yeah, we all take turns with the garbages. So now my mind is being blown because you ever watch that show, How It's Made?
Yeah.
Hold on. You can come back in 5 minutes. I'm in the middle of a psychotic story. Okay, so you ever watch How It's Made?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm seeing in real time how it's made. Like I'm helping her move it. Never in my life have considered how does it get from the street to the back of the house. Like you one day wake up and they're all on the street, right? Like every week you just wake up and they're on the street. You're like, oh, I got this somehow. I've never known. Now I'm doing it. So then I get a group text from this group, and they're all like passive aggressive. I should whisper. Okay, and they're like, hey, Robbie just moved, and Robbie wants to be part of the trash. And first of all, I don't want to be. I will do it. But this is not like ordering Greek food. It's something I want. Okay, so Robbie wants to be part of this thing. So we're gonna put her on the schedule. And this is how we do it. We do it month to month. Every Tuesday for April. Okay, Robbie's going to do it. I said, I'll finish the month. So she goes, yeah. So they go their names. I'll make up names. Let's say it's like Jerry and
Bill.
Jessica live in this unit. They're going to do it 1 month. And then Miller and Patty live in this other unit. So they're like a couple and then they're like roommates there. So 2, and then I'm there alone. Okay. Are going to take the next month and Robbie will get this month. And then I start thinking about it and I go, diddly dee. I'm only one person. They're 2 people each. I'm creating half as much trash, yet doing double as many shifts. I'm still doing a full month. Is this not anti-Semitic? What is this? The Jew picks up your slack? I mean, think about it. I'm doing it 4 times a month, but I create half as much. There are 2 people each. They each get to do it twice, and they create half as much. So I'm doing like double work. So I might bring this up in a little text message. So this is the kind of stuff that blows my mind. I would think of this immediately before I sent out a pass, like Robbie wants some cards. I would be like, Robbie is one person. Like, these are things that I would like, but now I'm going to look like the Jew saying, why can't you just do it for a month? But it's like, why do I have to do 4 garbage shifts? First of all, I maybe wouldn't have even taken the place had I known garbage was involved. I just assumed. So anyway, I've been taking out the garbage. And honestly, I could use the exercise. And it's not, again, an elitist thing. I just typically somebody from the city does it. So, or, you know, the landlord or whatever. But here you take out, you know, so that's it. I'm doing it. You know, I'm complaining to you guys, not to them, but they, you know, they see me taking it out.
I mean, I didn't mean for our question to be so triggering, but I'm really
okay. Yeah, it is. See, you can't ask me. You're asking me about something that you think is just, but little thing like when you ask a person like me, that's a very big question to ask me. What you think is a small question for a person like me, I think about these things day in and day out. These things rock my world. These little like these what could be tiny to you and never affect you for the rest of your life would occupy a day or two of my brain space.
And is this why you and Justine have always gone along from the very beginning? Because being a friend of Justine's in real life, the smallest things do blow her mind, and hence the creative naming of Justine playing Justine.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to tell this person they can come back because
well, while
you can come back.
Let them know, because we also just got a question here too. Was there scene in episode 8 that you guys were thinking of cutting but decided to leave in?
I mean,
no, pretty much we put every single possible thing in episode 8.
I don't remember. Yeah, I think we used it all. I think so. We almost forgot on the day. We had to show a part where my tattoo wasn't in it, and we almost didn't get that. So we would have had, that would have screwed us. Like we were like, and we're done. We literally almost wrapped the day, and I went, John, we need a transition shot. We don't have my. And we were like,
yeah, but you could have wrote it out.
But it was like
John,
everyone.
He knows what he's doing.
Don't
this
give
guy,
me more
I'm
work.
telling you right now. I know.
Colored it in himself digitally.
I could not have helped you with that. I can't do anything but one thing.
You could have sent that part to you and be like, so here's the issue, Robbie. We need you to.
Yeah, Robbie, we were talking about this on the first day of streaming, how we didn't have a script supervisor and how it really, really screwed us in the edit.
Oh my God.
Look, we kept asking for one, right? We kept asking for a script supervisor, but we just couldn't afford it.
There was so many. Okay, mister. There were so many times on set where you're like, we don't need it. Like, it's totally.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you were like, it's like, there's some things like continuity. People make too much big of a deal of continuity. People are forgiving.
Continuity is huge.
I do not remember saying that.
Yes, you did, because I
also
was like, all right.
to mark the takes. Were you not marking the takes, or you were doing that yourself?
No, we had nobody.
So for marking the takes, it's so important to have a script supervisor.
Oh, we now know. Oh, it was a nightmare, because every time where I'm in a scene, like that arm thing, we would have forgot, because I didn't remember that it was there. It was a nightmare. Or there's a couple.
I feel like there's so many people you can get who would do it, like, you know, for very low. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I will never do that again. That'll never happen.
Is there any other moments in this, what you guys were, there's a moment for any of you, like in whether it was like creating or talking about it, that you're like, I shouldn't have done that. I should have thought better. I should have thought twice.
I mean, there was one episode that I watched where something personal from my life, you know, you write, or sometimes you think of ideas from stuff you know, and to see it play out is like, oh yeah, that's how I had a very intimate moment with somebody, and now it's like depicted in this way, and that's the gig you sign up for when you do anything that touches on all of our, you know, when you're working together, your stuff, whoever's in the room, their stuff comes out, you know, if they're, you know, so it's I don't always watch what I write, but I watch this, or I don't always watch what I'm on. But you know, I watch this and it's interesting to see that, and not everything, you know, for me, just working on something queer is just a pleasure, and it's just wonderful to just be open and free and be writing, you know, Justine and John's show, which is such a queer show, and through the vehicle of Justine, especially just having some, like a much better queer, for instance, to tell stories, you know, like you know, it's an easy vehicle to tell queer stories through, and it's very, I mostly don't work on queer stuff necessarily. I mean, I feel like sometimes there's tokenism. I'm in a room and I've got to be, well, what about the queers? And I'm like, I don't even like gay people. Like, I don't want to specifically. Now I have to like hold the, I don't like, I sometimes do have stories for a guy and a girl, and this is the way it is. And they're like, we don't like that from you. We were hoping for, so this was like one of those things where it was like, everything is gay. The whole world is gay. It's like normal to be gay. It's kind of like a Jew going to Israel. It's like the people who work at McDonald's are Jewish. Like everybody is Jewish there. Like people go like, what's it like in Israel? It's like, the difference is like, you live in a Christian country. Like if you're Christian, or Catholic or Protestant, like it's all to us Christian. If you're not if you're not part of the main thing, like your whole, like you guys have Sundays off, so or like Sundays, like things are closed, or it's like, it's just Christmas. It's like in Israel, everybody is Jewish. So it's like an opposite world. Like if you know what I mean? That's how it felt like working on the show. It's like everybody, this is queer world. Like it's just normal. You're not like, there's no agenda. There's not like, this is now a queer story and we're doing Degrassi Junior High. Like we're doing this thing. It's like, this one like, queer character. Yeah. And this is like, it's,
Well, Justine, I know from talking to you also, like that was always something that was really important for you, that it just was Justine's life. It wasn't about like, talk a bit more about that. Like when you like were thinking about the show and stuff, you were just always like, this is just my life. I don't need to, as Robbie mentioned, the word tokenism or like make it into anything. It's just, this is my life. It's easy peasy.
Well, I just wanted to be a part of something. I wanted to like, and I think John and I would definitely from the get-go wanted to tell a story where it wasn't this like, oh, this woe is me story of like how difficult it is to be gay. Like we've seen, not that that's not a part of it. Everyone kind of has that, but I wanted there to be a show where we don't show the struggle necessarily, like the struggle being the gay thing. And just to start telling stories where it's hard to date in general and it's hard to navigate a job and she's gay and that part isn't the struggle, which I really enjoy. I really wanted it to be like, and it's just like, it just is. We don't have to like name it right off the top too. It's like, hi, I'm Justine and I'm gay. It's like, you can know I'm gonna make out with a chick. Like you don't have to announce, like straight stories, they don't always, they go, so heterosexual character, they just start doing heterosexual stuff. So I started doing homosexual stuff.
Yeah, and that's what drew me to the series when Justine approached me, like, hey, we want to expand this and we're looking to build the team out. Like, it's like the little episodes that I saw were just had that vibe of like, oh, it's a really cool, like, it just was gay as, it's not like, I also don't, it's not like beside the point that it's gay. It also is gay. But it's like, it's not like on the nose. It's not hack. It's real lives. Like she said, it's really her life, really things she felt, really like, things that you go through as a regular person who happens to date women. And it is a mind fuck. That is, dating women and women. It's much too much. I mean, it's two women and it's too much. That's two what it periods, is. So
4 sets of boobs, like something.
Well,
not always. Not always.
Not always. I can flash now. It's not inappropriate.
That's very exciting.
It's the same thing.
John, you can do it too.
Have you tested that on the algorithm?
We don't want that.
Pardon?
Have you tested that on the algorithm, Robbie? I'm super curious about that.
Have I tested that on the algorithm?
Yeah,
I think so.
On Instagram.
No, I've tested nothing. I could be kicked off. I could be fined. I have no idea. I'm testing nothing. So for sure, I could be banned from Zoom.
I don't think so.
Okay. So they kick another Jew off Zoom. What's next?
Somebody in the comments just said, I'm so excited right now because they live in Israel. So shout out from Israel coming through in the chat.
Yeah, and it's not even anything. It's just like this weird, like it's like that's the only way. Like as a queer too, it's like, no, it's interesting when the whole world is like you. You're not, as queer people in a straight world, it's like you're so used to like you're othered, but in this show you're not othered. You're just regular, and and that feels like cool. You can come in. Sorry, is there anything else, John or Justine, that you guys want to ask Robbie or chat to or bring up about your experience of working with her before we wrap up?
our soiree. Well, we don't have to wrap up just yet. I just want to throw it to them, you know.
Well, you guys are drinking. I'm gonna, as soon as I get off of this, it'll be wine o'clock time. Is that something that white women say? Wine o'clock time? I want to start saying something like that.
It's 1 o'clock.
Wait, Justine, we have to do a wine o'clock. We have to do a spoof.
Okay.
On like what like white office women type things say. But
Down.
Slowly but surely you turn into that. You're like, it's wine o'clock. You do all kinds of things. Or you start getting out flyers to a potluck or whatever white women, white culture is. I want you to just like start normal and cool, and slowly but surely you get this job that like turns you into one of these like it's white o'clock, and then you have like and
it's
you have
white
like
o'clock.
Wine o'clock.
Wine
like
o'clock.
You have like one of those canvases.
Oh, Robbie.
In your house, you have one of those like canvases that says like eat, laugh, pray,
and you sell Tupperware.
Okay, first of all, I just brought a white claw. This is my first time having a white claw.
Did someone just hand you
What is
that?
white? I spilled some of it. No, not on your computer. Thank God. Well, a little bit.
Also, someone just asked in the chat, how was it filming the scenes when Justine was falling into the next transition? Which I have a comment on because I was there that day, Justine, where you were
just
on a stool and fell over sideways onto a mat.
Well, it was safe because we had a mat and I was tethered to it, but I was scared.
And I tested it first.
Yeah, you tested it first because I was
like, wait,
I'm stunned. I'm gonna fall.
Justine, say about how cold you were. Remember that call I got from set?
Yeah.
Well, that episode actually is the camping Wilson. No,
yeah,
the Wilson was the most fun we had in the room though.
Yeah.
The Wilson
because that was from nothing to something just in that room.
That was from nothing to something in that room, and we did Wilson and we went with it. That episode, you know what? I said I didn't want to rank. But that's my favorite one, the Wilson one.
I was gonna say, you've told me that episode 4 was your favorite, you little liar.
I know, I'm always switching, but because of how cold. But how good did we get? We were worried about the weather. The seasons changed.
Drinks.
The White Claw's not for me. I tried it. This is much better for me.
It's wine o'clock.
L'chaim.
Hey.
Mine's empty.
Oh, mine's
empty too.
Water.
Justine only has one glass.
I have
of wine
to
left.
ration my wine. I have one glass left in my bottle, which is a nightmare.
That's crazy. So, but you called me from. And remember, John, you were worried about the seasons changing. Oh, we have to shoot this in the summer. And I was like, it's going to be beautiful if we get the fall, though. It's like really not a bad thing if production gets pushed and we're shooting this in the fall. And how good does it look? That's also part why I like that episode.
Did you say I called you on set? This is how delirious
I was.
Yeah, or
Peter called me on set.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't remember. And
Peter was like, Justine is, you were, it was really freezing, northern Canada.
Oh yeah,
the breath was real. Everything was real. It just looked so good. Yeah. But you guys didn't have a heat tent on set, did you? That's why I was
Not
like
outside.
Peter when he was like, "Do you want to come to set?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good."
Robbie, I had a little writing question for you.
Go ahead.
And so I remember when we were sort of in the room discussing season 2, we kept treading the line between going super big with the ideas and sort of reeling back for budgetary reasons.
Right.
Like to anybody that might be listening that is an upcoming writer, like working on indie productions, where do you stand on that line of just like going full force with an idea or writing within your means?
Right. Well, I think like you saw in the room how I my thought on it. I think I was clear in the room when we were creating the stories, but it was just like I shoot for the stars on the page. It's not my job to reel back financially. So I don't. And that's why we would push the stories. And I would say, like, John, because you have one leg in production and you guys, you have to do other things. Sometimes you would think of stuff, but it's not the writer's job, I don't think, to not think of the best story possible. And then wait for notes, wait for production to say, oh, you can't have 3 planes. I'm like, okay, can we have 2? You can't have whatever you can't have. Like, just write the story as you imagined it, as you want it to be the greatest. Don't limit writing ever. I don't think you ever limit and write to production. Production's job is to is to make things cheaper, and your job is to make the best thing. And you should act like you have $1 billion. I don't care if you're making a web series. I don't care what it is. If you're doing all the parts, you're also production. If you're a first-time writer, creator, and you're making something, fine. But if you were only in the position, and I was lucky to be at this position, brought in as a writer, whatever you guys are going to say for this, my job is certainly not to reel back anything. It's to blow out these stories, blow out those little 1 minutes. I mean, for me, as important as blowing out the fancy stuff was the character stuff. That was also important to me. It's like, how do we move from a minute to a narrative series where we're getting to what these characters really are about? What is their purpose? What are goals? What's their arc? Things that are bigger things emotionally to blow out, but at the same time, never limiting myself by access to resources ever. I mean, I sit every script that I defend. I mean, I'm like, I didn't know that was expensive. Okay. Like I just like act like, because I really don't think about it. I don't know that shooting in an elevator is that expensive. Okay.
Because I remember when we were writing episode 1, you were like,
I was
and
just
then
gonna
there's
bring
going to
that
be
up.
a car
A camel.
chase scene like Fast and the Furious, and there's going to be the camel. That
Yeah.
you get
Camel.
into.
It's like she drops down on a camel.
And you jump on a train.
Yeah, I wanted that Fast and the Furious scene, jumping onto a camel.
I still want that.
I still want that too. So we should, and that was the vibes, and the vibes of that ended up coming through in the episode. Wherever you end up, those vibes were there. You shoot for the stars, and then you get, your B, C, D, E, pitch. But
We got the tank. It was dope.
Yeah, yes, and we got the tank because John had a hookup to. John, you have a suspicious hookup to all World War II things. And I'm not. It's, by the way, I have no problem with anti-Semites, to each their own, as long as they're, no, but there is a suspicious connection you have to World War II, memorabilia and tanks. I mean, tanks is next level. To just have access to a Holocaust tank is scary.
To be fair, it was not a Holocaust tank.
I can still see the fingernails of my dead grandparents on the tank tracks, so clawing as you drive over them.
And I think the tank we used was from Vietnam.
Oh, even better for people.
Yeah.
Oh God. Can you edit Zoom? I would edit that out. It's not a good look.
But there was a question over here in the chat. I mean, the chat's on this side. I don't know what side it's on.
Do you still want to ask me these questions from the chat? I mean, it can't be going well.
It's going great.
I'm under contract. I'm under oath. I have to. First of all, someone asked if there were any days where we had to delay production due to weather circumstances, which you guys talked about yesterday when you were filming and it snowed, as Robbie brought up the great Canadian weather.
Oh yeah. No, we had to move a day because the beginning part of the episode there was no snow, and then we went to go shoot another scene that was continuing. I would turn a corner and snow, so we had to.
But the thing is that we didn't technically move the day. The day pretty much finished, and then Justine and I went out into a forest to shot it by ourselves on a separate day.
Yeah.
I love it. Die Hard. And then also I have a question here. If you had Justine's time travel watch, where would you go, or should I say, when would you go? This is a good Robbie question. Just what you would do with Justine's character. I feel like you're probably going to take them back to the Holocaust.
Well, we already had the Holocaust, so I wouldn't do another episode like that. I think I'm satisfied with where that episode ended up. But what do you mean, if we had a time machine, where would we take Justine?
Yeah. Where would you take her?
Maybe if we went back in time, I'd do like Gertrude Stein type gay shit, like an old gay, like when you had to be like secret, maybe the turn of the century gay story. I would do something like that because we haven't seen Justine in like those pin curls or something like that. Like I would do like a 20s or turn of the century episode.
That would be a lot of fun.
And I'm not such a timepiece person, but that would be cool to see her modern character and giving them modern lines, because I always think when I see things from the 20s, I'm like, they didn't really talk like that. They still talk like people. It's fine, they had separate language. But it wasn't, I feel like there was also real conversations happening, and that would be a cool overlay to see for her. If I'm just thinking on the top of my head, I hope you're writing these down, because we're starting to think of season 3. But I would do that. Let me think. And maybe I would do a teenage episode, her at camp or something.
I have seen photos of teenage Justine, and it's very similar to Avril Lavigne. Her hair is.
Oh, I would love that. Then we would do that.
Under eyeliner.
Justine, we're bringing it all back. The studded belts, the white beater,
I had that.
The straight hair. We're doing your Avril days. It's like at camp or school, and it's some type of also not forbidden love, but maybe you like the popular. Not anything cliche, actually. Just something a teenage episode or an episode of you in the 20s.
Those are cool. John, is there any like place you would time travel Justine when you off the top of your head?
Like send Justine or send myself?
The question was for time traveling Justine.
I mean,
and you can also answer for yourself.
I mean, I'd love to check out the Dark Ages from like the 1600s to like the late 1700s because they burned a lot of books, so there's not a lot of information from that time period. So it'd be interesting to find out like what they're trying to hide.
Oh. Or how did they make the pyramids? Let's time travel there because that's a big mystery.
I want you with dinosaurs. Speaking of production value, I want you riding pterodactyls. I want like a fern gully. I want you in the jungle with the dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures we've never seen before.
Oh, that's good. You know what? We do the Justine Tarzan episode.
Oh.
That would actually be great for Mind Fudge. I mean, we can't use any of these because now we've already spilled them. So maybe we shouldn't be sharing ideas like as a brainstorm on this live.
Just the time travel, but it turned into absolutely what great brainstorm.
But I also see her in like leaves and having to go from tree to tree. See how expensive this is already? I'm like, I'm sure it's cheap. I'm like, it's just trees, couple ropes. Like not thinking of rigging. Like they're always like people always like in production meetings like, well then we'll have to get a rig. I'm like, okay. Well, you do whatever the hell it is that you do. Like, I have nothing to do with that.
I can rig you guys up.
Oh yeah, she does all that. She can spin from ropes for real.
I mean, there are a lot of genres.
So we have our stunt double.
There are a lot of genres that we didn't get to tackle in season 2, right? Like we did sort of the fight scene and the boxing and the sort of the mindfucky type stuff.
Well, we can go anywhere with this too. I also would love a world like a typical Mindfudge, like a dreamland, and where it's indescribable. It isn't a world we've seen. It is something wholly new. Kind of like the Simpsons used to do things where they would like fudge, like maybe we do like animated fudge or something. But I'm not even saying that like. The Simpsons would like sometimes they would be like in this weird black, like they were good at sometimes like worlds you've never seen. And I think for Mind Fudge, maybe there is room for our own creations.
I love this, and I feel like we should wrap that up there just so we don't give any more of your guys' amazing ideas.
I know.
To the internet.
Well, there's many more where they came from because these amazing
Well, and it's so fun to get people excited, and I feel like everybody who's watching and chatting tonight, I also think it's great if fans of the show, you guys want to write these guys on Instagram or on the chat or anything. If you have fun ideas, always throw them out because it's so fun to hear where you guys want to see Justine go. And I think too, because we've been going for a little bit, we should probably let people know the password for today for the contest.
Yeah.
Right, so Justine, this is your password now. You have to say it.
This is Justine.
Oh, it's this the one that was mine? Okay,
yeah.
It's gonna make no sense to Robbie. Today's password is, are we saying it all together or just me? 1, 2, 3, maple.
Maple. That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I'm signing off, but people follow me, Robbie Hoffman, on Instagram for nudes. And Twitter, I am Robbie Hoffman.
And also you have an amazing Crave special that's up.
Oh, if you haven't seen my Crave special, I mean, I don't know what, like, you deserve the quarantine. You deserve I hope COVID-19. I hope you get COVID-19. If you haven't seen Robbie Hoffman's I'm Nervous Crave special, you're there in Canada. I don't know what else you're watching. I'm like, you watch Mind Fudge, you watch the Crave.
It's
there's an evening. There's an evening.
Oh, good. And I actually got to be at the taping of it. Robbie, I was saying before you hopped on, I haven't actually met you in person. This is my first time meeting you, but I am like such a huge fan. And after I saw your stand-up, I actually was like, I've been always wanting to do stand-up, so I fucking started doing stand-up.
How's it going?
It's pretty quiet.
I mean, it's stopped now. Yeah, honestly. Not a great time to start stand-up, but
it's so great. It's been so fun. Justine was at my first stand-up show, and your special is so incredible. I like pissed my pants laughing. I've watched it substance. It's so good. So everybody should watch it, especially if you're in quarantine because you have no fucking excuses.
Oh, yeah. If you're in America and you don't have access to Crave, you can DM me and I will hook it up for you.
Whoa.
But if you're in Canada, it's on Crave. So is Mind Fudge. So you got
CBC Gem. You can find Mind Fudge.
CBC Gem, sorry. And then you go over to Crave for I'm Nervous. And Justine, I remember Justine being at it too. And you might, so you're in an audience shot.
I'm just probably like this.
Oh, amazing.
And you might be in it too. Yeah,
if you
might
look,
be in
you
it
can,
too.
if you look carefully.
John was banned from the show, so he never did get in.
I was not in town.
Yeah, we reached
John
our
was
quota
probably
on
running a 6-person crew by himself.
Yeah.
That actually be
Peter
really,
and John.
That would be really shocking if someone stopped me at the door. I think that would really hurt.
Well, I was like, no Nazis. I mean, if there's going to be a night Nazi free, as John shows up in a tank. Okay, very nice. Good. Excellent.
Thank you for coming.
Good having you.
Bye, Robbie.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Bye.
Bye.
So before we wrap up, some people wanted to clarify our contest. They were saying, what do we do with the passwords again? Can you guys, John, you know what's going on. And Justine.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
We are going to have a link. We're going to have the link in the show notes of this episode. So all you have to do is click the link. We're also going to put it on Instagram and our Facebook. All you have to do is input all 3 passwords and maybe tell us if you like us. Maybe click a little checkbox or something. And if you do that, then you're going to be entered into the contest for the Mind Fudge prize pack, which is really cool. It's going to be a bunch of cool Mind Fudge stuff. Stuff that we don't even have. So stay tuned for that.
Because there are more important things that need to get delivered right now. So you will get all the Mind Fudge package stuff.
We'll get it.
Yeah.
Man, is there anything else you guys want to say to wrap up this amazing 3 days of streaming? We've had amazing questions you've answered. Is there anything you want to let your fans know, people know, where you can look for next season Mind Fudge or season 1? People are asking about bloopers, all that good stuff.
So all that stuff is on Instagram, which is really exciting. And just keep liking and sharing it with your friends. That really that means a lot to us when we get to hear you guys, what you think of the episodes. It's just super rewarding to see who's watching and hearing from you guys.
Yeah, I think we are 9 people away from getting 1,000 subscribers.
Oh yeah, could you tell your friends?
So please
Come on.
tell your friends. Just tell them to subscribe to Mind Fudge and check out season 1. They're all up there. We're going to put a lot of cool behind the scenes stuff up soon. So just follow along, and then we'll keep you updated about what's coming up next.
Hit
it'll be
subscribe.
Good.
If you're in Canada, get on CBC Gem. It's free. My mother could figure it out. Justine's mom could figure it out. I think anybody can figure it out. And it's free for Canadians to watch. If you're not, these streams that you've seen, I think, are they still up from yesterday?
They're still up. So send all international friends. Links so they can watch these in the next little while.
Yes, watch. And you have these guys' Instagram handles at Justine Nelson, at John Simo, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, we got our names.
2 other Instagrams. And I'm at McCullough K. Mind Fudge, you guys all have it. I have to thank you, John and Justine, for asking me to come on and do this because
thank you so much.
The best time, because I feel like there's so many details with the episodes and nuances that people were finding out about and I was finding out about in real time. And it's so exciting to dive deeper into both of your brains, even though I'm also your guys' friend. It's really cool to watch you guys jam out together and go over everything that happened on Mind Fudge, and I can't wait to see what you all come up with next.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. All right. Thanks so much for doing this with us, Katie.
Yeah, Katie, thank you so much. You're a perfect moderator. It's so nice to see your face and hang out with you in this digital way. And
forcing you to hang out this 3 days.
Thank you guys so much. I want to play. What was that game we played, John, with all the letters? It was like Scrabble, but different.
Snatch. Yeah.
Hated it.
Yeah. You were good, Justine. You downplayed yourself.
I was horrid.
Yeah.
I was absolutely horrid. I'm dyslexic. That's not a game for me.
Next live stream, we'll do a Snatch Live with alcohol.
I'm like, I don't know what to do here. This is my worst nightmare.
Yeah, just keep following along, and if you guys have more questions that didn't get answered or you maybe think of later, just hit us a message up on Instagram or comment on one of the videos, and we will respond, because we really do love responding to friends and fans and family. So let us know if you have any questions, and just keep talking to us, because we're lonely and we're sad, and talking to people on the internet keeps us sane.
We're dabbing alone, guys. It's a dark day. Ugh. All right, thanks everybody.
Guys.
Do you guys want to try like a virtual high five?
Yeah.
Wait,
which
way do I go? This way?
I'll get Katie. Yeah, ready?
1,
2, 3.
3.
Yeah. No, too far.
I was like,
Okay,
wait.
1, 2, 3. And then down. Oh god,
wait,
that was horrible.
Forget it.
Okay, we're gonna sign off. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and until next time, this is the Mind Fudge crew.
Hey.
Signing off.
Bye.
Bye.